and welcome everyone to episode 60 of the GVGCast, where we get to hang out with all of you, and I am your host, Derrick Bittner, joined today by Daniel Alba, as it's just the two of us, because Ash is in Pennsylvania with his dad for a convention. Steve is at Summer Game Fest, excuse me, checking out the games. John is asleep, and it is Brandon's wife's birthday. We can't have Brandon here for his wife's birthday. He's spend it with his wife. So you're stuck with the two of us.
You're stuck with us. And it's, that's fine with me. I haven't spent a lot of quality time with Derrick, I've noticed. And now we have that time together to hang out.
We get the bond now.
Yeah, I still remember I first spoke to you when it was the old show, TNT, when I first appeared as a guest. That was when we first actually talked together by then. And I was probably, I don't ever want to watch that again because I probably spoke like a stuttering moron.
Welcome to every YouTuber's first couple videos.
And now I speak a little less like a stuttering mess. So I'm glad I've come to where I am now. So
I've improved, but I don't know if I've improved that much. So
that's me. That's me in general.
Yeah.
I know you have. I've watched you since you did like if I wasn't available today, I wouldn't be surprised if you wanted to go solo like those few times you went solo on a certain podcast.
Oh, I would have gone. I guarantee you, if you weren't available, I would have gone solo.
Oh man,
because everybody else is like, I don't know. They're here for the whole like team thing. We should have that. I'm like, no. If I'm available, I'm going solo if I can manage it. I'll just chat with everybody, whatever. Give my thoughts.
Actually, it's easier now because you actually have an audience here with you.
I had nobody to go off of for the old podcast because I had to just go off topics, and I can't believe that was entertaining at all back in the day.
That made it more impressive, honestly. But here we are. You got us. You got me and chat. So we're here to just talk about the news and what we've been up to this week.
Yeah, and before we actually get to that, of course, we've got to do an extra special thank you to The Game Orb, as The Game Orb is our sponsor and a YouTube channel that brings commentary and gameplay footage from the Nintendo Switch and Xbox Series X gaming systems. While games like Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu can be seen on the channel, along with many others, The Game Orb has added Splatoon 3, Super Mario Sunshine, and Fall Guys to his gaming collection. So be sure to subscribe to The Game Orb at the link in the description. And you know what? I'm going to go ahead and I gotta act the Ash and get it pinned here so everybody can check that out. So definitely
there you go.
Give a look at The Game Orb. They've always appreciated that you've supported us for all this time, and
absolutely,
yeah. And yeah, of course, we'll be talking about the Summer Game Fest recap. That'll be most of what we're talking about, along with certain leaks. But yeah, in general, how have you been, Daniel? Because we got super chats we want to get to, but I'm curious, how have you been?
I've been all right. This week had some issues that I was thankfully able to sort out to an extent, which is not so bad now. But I also spent this week playing a little bit of Tears of the Kingdom. I'm still kind of trying to sweep up a little bit of what I wanted to do before I close that, at least for now. Most of my week was spent playing Street Fighter 6. And,
nice.
And not even by myself. I did some family Street Fighter 6 as well, which I wasn't expecting. Apparently my stepmom is good at Street Fighter 2 way back then. E Honda and Chun-Li main from back then.
And I'm hearing E Honda is really good. I haven't had a chance to try E Honda yet, but I hear he's really good in this game as of right now.
Yeah. That's what I noticed that as well. And it somehow my sisters already knew like terminology like the Hadouken, the Shoryuken through my stepmom, which I thought was really funny. And we were all playing together, and they kind of been picking up characters, which is weird to say, using modern controls, which I was really thankful that that's a thing for other people to get used to.
It's kind of Smash controls in a way, which is kind of awesome.
Yeah. It was really cool to see that. So my eldest little sister picking up on Cammy, which I know makes you happy. I bet.
I'm a Cammy main, although I've basically mainly been going through arcade mode myself. I've almost done everybody. I haven't played in a while because I'm like, I really want to play Street Fighter. I have that itch, but I'm so close to the end of Resident Evil 4, and I have to finish that with my time at the, just a little bit of time at night. So I've been working on that instead. It kills me because I want to play more Street Fighter, but it also kills me if I'm playing Street Fighter. I want to play more Resident Evil. And, I believe I was threatened by Caitlin to play this. So, I got to make sure to do this.
Capcom needs to stop popping off with these titles this year. I don't have time for anything else.
I forget exactly how you put it, Caitlin, but you said play this or else, essentially. I forget the exact terms. That's it. You call me a bitch. That's it. Okay, I went a little too far. Play it or I'm a bitch. I'm trying to prove I'm not a bitch. Although I might be a little bit in Street Fighter because I did ranked and I ended up in Iron, like rank 6 Iron with 2 stars now.
Gotcha.
What about you? Have you done ranked at all?
You're really close to the end of RE4 though, so you'll be free of that very soon, from what I've heard. Yeah. I haven't done much online, honestly. I need to do. I've been focusing on World Tour a lot because that's teaching me a lot, gradually, little by little, how to reintroduce myself into Street Fighter because I've been away for a while. I've been wanting to get back into it for like multiple titles now, but this is the one. If you want to get into Street Fighter, this is definitely the one to do it to. And so
it's also why I wanted to pick it up right away because I've heard that the best time to start playing a fighting game when it comes out, when everybody's figuring out the systems and you're not going to go online and just get destroyed. It's still happening, but I actually am winning matches, so I'll take it.
Yeah. Awesome.
But yeah, I otherwise, Resident Evil at night, Street Fighter 6 when I can, and Tears of the Kingdom, slowly getting away. Oh, I think I'm getting a visitor.
Special guest?
Yeah, you can hear him here. So, unfortunately, we only Kai took a nap and didn't quite. He got woken up from that nap and now is having trouble getting back to sleep. Should we have a cameo real quick? Or no? Okay, she's leaving. Okay. So
not today.
That's all right. So I'm gonna be trying to get him back to sleep after the show. So there's that whole thing going on. But yes, when I'm watching Kai, I will play a little as much Zelda as I can. It's a little tough because he will literally go over to we have all the streaming apps to him with the PS4, and he'll go and hit the button to turn on stuff and be like, "No, we're watching my stuff. I don't want to watch you play Zelda. We're watching what I want to watch."
Free time is me time. What are you doing, Dad?
So my route has been all over the place, kind of, because I went to Kakariko first, then I went to Hateno, then I just got distracted enough that I basically ended up with the whole Lurelin stuff, and then I was like, no, I cannot keep doing this. I am going to Rito Village now. So I finally made it to Rito, and I'm in making my way towards that giant storm cloud, which honestly, just even the approach to that has been freaking awesome. I don't want to go into details for other people that haven't gone too far and going different ways, but I'm blown away by it. I'm like, it's simple, but it's also like kind of cool. It's like platforming in Zelda.
I love the Rito, the Herba region in like both games. There's always something just so fascinating. Like in the first game in Breath of the Wild, you see a meadow floating above and you're like, what is that? That's a major like point to look at. And now you just see an entire just the cloud and everything around it, and you're just like, what is happening up here? I need to see what's happening. Yeah,
I see the giant cloud in one direction. I see a giant cube in another. I'm like, what the heck is going on up in the skies? So yeah, it's been very interesting I've been trying to split up my game time, but one other thing before I get to it, and I apologize for taking up the time, but I do want to announce though that tomorrow I will be hosting a subathon, really streamathon, to my personal Twitch, which is just BitNerd Games. And I will be doing basically after Amy reacts with you tomorrow for the Wholesome Games Direct, because she was really excited about that, and she will have interest in that. You want somebody to hype up those type of games, Amy is your person. Like she's going to be all about that. So we're going to set her up and have that all go there, go there. And as soon as that finishes up, I'll get set up and basically go for at least 4 hours. There'll be a timer as donations come in to extend it to a max of 12 hours for that day, but to other further days as well. And the hope is like, the basic concept is, every 30 minutes, I'm going to be switching up to a different random Switch game throughout my entire library. And I've also have extensions where, as I get more donations, I'll unlock stuff like my NES Classic, the NSOs for all the different older games, and so forth. So basically starting out with around 450-ish games between the my Switch collection, mine and Amy's Switch collection, and the NES NSO. And this is me breaking out the collection. So like I have the single game of Mega Man Legacy Collection. There's 10 games in there. So that's why it kind of gets expanded a bit with that. But yeah, just going a randomizer and playing whatever game comes up for 30 minutes and then switching it off and having all kinds of fun things there. Basically, the idea is I'm hoping to pay off my car. I really want to pay off my car and get that debt gone. So that's sort of the pressure, this thing there. So if anybody wants to join me tomorrow, it'll be around start around 1:00 Eastern, over on Bit Nerd Games on Twitch. So if you guys want to watch that, really appreciate it. No pressure though. We'll just have a good time either way. And if we hit the goal, we couldn't get a Bowser onesie because they were just all sold out and way overpriced, and like wouldn't get it till like October because everybody's doing their stuff with that. But my chat convinced me to, if we reach the goal, I will dress up in a Tails onesie with the head down with a Bowser hoodie, Bowser like mask. And you get to hear my terrible singing voice as I sing to Amy Peaches as she has a old Peach cosplay. So if we actually meet my goal, which is honestly pretty high up there, I gotta say, there is that. And yes, Bolt Mouse, I do have the Zero suit. And fun fact, if you donate enough, there are dares. I have truth or dares there, so you can get truths out of me or dares out of me, or I eat one of those disgusting like beans, the bean stuff that we've had before. What are they called?
Those.
Yeah, you know the ones.
Yeah, they might taste like lime, or they might taste like sludge and garbage.
Yeah, Bean Boozled. That's it, Bolt Mouse.
That's the one.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
I could if you ask me like, super personal truth, I'll be like, I'm gonna take a bean. So it's the right to refuse type of thing.
I'll definitely jump in and take a look as well once we're done with ours. So we'll be done with our streams by then as well.
Yeah. Because unfortunately, I'm going to be starting this when Amy finishes, but you guys will have the Future Games Direct.
Right.
Oh.
Okay.
She just got an update that the Bowser has been lost in delivery. So
what?
That's a bummer. But hey,
man,
you get me in a Tails onesie, and that's something else as itself. Yeah. Anyway, we'll see how that all goes. But yeah, now it's gonna be, I guess, if we reach it that day, Tails serenading Amy as Peach. So just cheating.
I guess everyone playing Mario Party 2 got those Bowser onesies really popular, and everyone's like, I want one as well.
I guess so. But yeah, that's that whole thing going on. I could look forward to that. But we also have some super chats, so we should get to those because you guys have been crazy generous with this. And speaking of crazy, we got Jaden Buck with $5. Thank you so much, saying Crazy Question Fridays number 85. What scenario from any video game world do you think is the most likely to happen in the real world?
This is a really dumb one. The Pokemon trading card game, the second one, where people actually got kidnapped because they stole their Pokemon cards and no one could play Pokemon cards anymore. Someone just kidnapping all the card, like they were pretty much just like God, with the term for just I'm just blanking on the term all of a sudden.
The scalpers.
They were it's just the Team Great Rocket is like a bunch of scalpers and stealing people away, saying we can't have your cards. It's too real. It's too much like in the real world. I don't know if that really counts because I don't know if that really counts because the trading card game technically does take place in the real world where there's no Pokemon and people just play Pokemon cards. Yeah, I'm trying to think of an actual other game.
I'm looking at I always look over to my collection just to get an idea of what it could be. But honestly, the way the world is, I mean, I know it's based on like the 50s. but it could happen just modern day Fallout, and the vault system. I could see that being a thing.
Uh-huh. And like any game where religion is evil, that could probably happen. That's most
Yeah.
JRPGs nowadays.
Yeah. And as Squire points out, Resident Evil just
Oh,
replace, disease with zombification.
that's true. My
Mm.
gosh. That's scary.
Yeah,
Now I'm
isn't it?
paranoid.
Oh God. All right, next up is Disney Duncan with $5. Thank you so much, saying, for Smash 6, what do you expect? Ultimate Deluxe or a new game with a smaller roster with retooled characters? Honestly, smaller roster with retooled characters, because
There's
Sakurai said it was just a once in a lifetime, and I think most of the budgets would just be spent re-securing all those characters if we got like an
yeah.
Ultimate Deluxe.
There are many characters who need a retooling to their moveset and a refreshing because there's so many games that have come out. Just look at Mario himself. Like he's pretty much was just made as like a Shoto character, but you can do so much more with his moveset now that they've kind of implemented here and there throughout the series. But some characters like Mario, Captain well Ganondorf actually, not
Yeah.
Captain Falcon because he just has he's the same as ever. Many characters could
There's
use
a
a
brand new
retooling.
Ganondorf they can pull from now. What do you know?
There's many Ganondorfs. Yeah, Ganondorf with a sword. Why don't we have more sword characters in our
Two
game?
Ganondorf. Get Twin Sword in there.
Twin sword. Yeah. There's oh my gosh. There's so many things they could do with that series at this point. But I wouldn't expect an Ultimate Deluxe. That's a little bit too high in the sky now. I think Ultimate is the game for your Ultimate crossover. I think they'll tool it down a much more for the next game in the series.
Yeah. Lizard 81288. Thank you so much for the $5 donation as well. Do we think that Sonic Superstars is worth the $60 or $70? I think 60 base. With Sega's track record for 2D, they haven't made a good 2D Sonic game since Genesis. 4 was bad. Well, fortunately, we have Steve at Summer Game Fest, and he's actually gone hands on with the game, and he just put out a little Twitter impressions thing, and he likes it. He thought it plays really well. We don't have full details on how that all goes, but he's played it and he likes it. Now, is that $60 worth? Hard to say, but we also get into the iffiness of should a 2D game not be worth $60? And that's like,
We don't really have enough information of what the breadth of the content in this game is so far. We do know that it's $60. It was confirmed by official Sonic Twitter that it is going to be 60, not 70, which that would have been a little more problematic. But yeah, it's like I look at it and I get feelings of new Super Mario Brothers. It's like new Sonic the Hedgehog now with 4 players in one platforming stage together. It's not online, which kind of
that's a
bums
bummer.
me out. I'm like, and I think, how is this going to work? Because if it was online, you could have different characters at different parts of the stage. But now, with the speed of this game, everyone has to be on the same screen at all
It's going to
times,
be like
more
the
or less.
2-player mode back in the old days where just the kid brothers struggling to catch up.
Yeah, and I'm wondering how that's going to function. If like they're off screen, there's like a little arrow, and they get pulled back automatically, like in Mario Brothers. I don't know, but as it stands right now, I don't see how it's worth 60 when Mania was like not
Like
even half that amount.
30, 25,
Yeah.
somewhere around there.
Yeah,
I think
and
when you get Mania Plus, that's when you got the 30 or 40. Still,
right. But yeah, it remains to be seen exactly like what is it about this that's worth the $60 price point besides just, Sega themselves making this title.
yeah.
Because
Yeah. Deanna Hune with $5 as well. Thank you so much for that. And I actually forgot to put this on our news because we did get a new Pikmin trailer. What are our thoughts on the new Pikmin trailer? Which basically is just a story overview plus the reveal that we can make our own captains.
There was it's really funny that they are just playing into the idea that no matter what happens, these captains are going to just crash to Earth every single time. Like Olimar crashed to Earth, and then these 5 explorers went to rescue him, and they also crashed into Earth, and it's just like that's just a running gag now. But I love it. I like being able to make our own captain. That's a nice little difference there, and I guess you're just going to be collecting your lost crewmates and eventually Captain Olimar. Although I hope it's not just going to be like you find Olimar and that's the game, because they did that with 3 already. Is there like some twist with this? Because this poor man, he just wants to make money apparently.
I have no idea. I
He's just a working dad, working too hard.
Yeah, I mean, I've only actually fully played Pikmin 1. I know bits and pieces about the later, well, Pikmin 2 and 3, but I've not
Mm-hmm.
played them myself.
Mm.
But I hope they have a new goal thing with that. I don't know. Maybe something comes up. I don't know. But that's also more of an in-depth plot. But who knows? Maybe that'll actually happen. I have no idea.
It's interesting because we're seeing more of like developed life that was on Earth, like the house that was there.
Right.
Like usually we just see these ruins of just, small remnants, but I wonder exactly how far. Like, are we going to go into houses? Are we going to see more
That'd be cool.
interior areas? Like there's a lot more verticality we can have in this game, so that'd be really cool, especially when you're using Ochi, the little pupper.
Oh yeah, and we do
Um,
have caves now, so there's maybe they're
mhm.
going full Tears of the Kingdom. We got sky as far as houses, we got outside as far as regular stuff, and then we got the caves for
The
our
underground,
underground.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. Everything just will become Zelda eventually.
yeah. Lizard back again with another $5. Thank you so much. Saying fun guesstimation. If Final Fantasy VII Rebirth needs 2 discs, each disc holds 667.2 gigs. That means that if it were come to Switch, it would need roughly 84 cartridges.
Just
My
like the
God.
good old days, where it's just so big they can't fit it on Switch for the cartridge space.
Yeah.
Um, that's just funny. We're gonna obviously talk
We're
about
gonna
Final
we're gonna get
Fantasy
into that.
7 later, but 2 discs, that just made me laugh.
Well, let's do one more before we move on to that news. We got Disney Duncan with Tears with $2. Thank you so much. Says, has anyone fought and won against a Gleeok in Tears of the Kingdom? I saw one flying around and I was like, I'm staying up the air for now. I don't feel confident enough for that one yet.
They are in fact the end game enemies to fight in this game.
Oh, good.
If you fight them, uh, it depends what element you're fighting because you need to be kind of prepared for each one. But the main thing, like I don't want to spoil how to fight them entirely, but obviously you have the 3 heads. That's the main thing. If you can't hit them with your arrows, use something to lock into them, like a Kisai.
Mm-hmm.
And if you can match the elements or counter the element like an ice Kisai to those, the fire ones, for example, do that. Because that's your main point, to stun them and get more damage in. There's other Gleeoks out there that are even more treacherous to fight.
Oh, lovely.
But just yeah, once you get your strategy down for the main ones, it kind of all starts to make sense as you get more progressed into the game.
I haven't even been able to take on a Lionel yet, so I'm in trouble.
I didn't find one for a while. I was surprised. They're just not very common.
Not really, no. So we'll see what happens as I continue on. But yeah, we got some news going on. And before we get to Summer Game Fest, the brand new news out of today, Bandai Namco announced, Bandai Namco announced today that Tekken 8 is having a closed beta with the sign up now available. So yeah, I already cast my lottery because I feel like I'm more excited for Tekken 8 than I am for Mortal Kombat, but we'll kind of get into that. But it'll be happening on let's see, from July 8th to July 31st. So keep an eye on that. PS5 participants will get an extra weekend from July 1st to July 24th. So if you have a PS5, you'll be actually be able to play a little bit more. And I forget. I don't know if they've announced exactly all who's going to be available. Oh yeah, you'll be able to play as any of the 16. So any of the 16 announced characters, you'll be able to play as. That's a huge roster.
That's a big roster for just a demo.
That's only 3 less than Street Fighter 6's final roster.
Yeah.
And then of course there'll be
Wow.
the 5 stages. So that's a meaty beta.
That's a lot to play around with. They really want to get their data for this one because that's a lot of characters to consider.
I've been watching Maximilian Dude, and apparently this is the first time Tekken's not had an arcade release to try to tighten up their gameplay. So I think and they've never really had great netcode before. So this is their first, like they really need to get that settled.
Yeah, to
And
get that
considering we
right.
have no idea when this is even coming out, they're really getting ahead of it, I guess.
Yeah, with netcode being such a standard now, they really need to get that squared away before it's in the public eye in that way. So yeah, having that many characters in the beta, having an expansive beta makes sense to me.
Yeah.
And I too am also a bit more leaning towards games like Tekken than Mortal Kombat, I think.
Agreed. All right. Well, speaking of, let's talk about some of the highlights from Summer Game Fest. And I put down a few. I'm not sure if you have any others yourself that you'd like to talk about, but one of the more interesting ones happening right now is the discussion around Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown. And I didn't realize this until people started talking about it, but it's being downvoted a lot on YouTube, more so on other consoles than Switch. And I don't get it because the game looks phenomenal.
I didn't know that either. Like I thought I thought this was being well received for what we've been seeing there, because boy, does this look like a certain other 2D game that we played before when you look at the real, like, the gameplay styles of it.
Yeah, I don't get it. And the other thing is, apparently there have been comments where people are saying, why are they making it 2D? Making it like classic Prince of Persia in 3D. I'm like, what? Prince of Persia started in 2D. What the heck are you like? Oh God.
That's not the point, guys. We're making we're calling back to the original, and the way it looks, the movement, the momentum, the abilities that you have, it looks so good. And as many people have mentioned already, reminds you a lot of Metroid Dread in like in Samus's movements, from shifting back and forth to the camera angles, the counters. A lot of it just looks reminiscent of Metroid Dread. And I thought this would be an appealing thing for people to respond to, but apparently not.
I guess not. I don't understand it. I'm excited for it. I think it looks great, but
yeah,
I thought it was a really strong start to the whole thing.
It was a good intro, yeah. So I don't understand, honestly, and the fact that it's more heavily disliked on like PlayStation platforms than Nintendo is just. I guess
apparently Nintendo has taste.
Apparently, who would have thunk?
Yeah. Of course, we also got the first look at Mortal Kombat 1 gameplay, and I mean that is certainly Mortal Kombat. I mean, it looks good. I just like. Do I want to get into that level of violence? Like, I'm interested in the story, but am I interested in actually playing the game? That's where I'm sort of sitting at right now.
I think they did a good job of presenting this compared to other games that they presented during this with Jeff. They had the gameplay in the background as they were talking about it, so I was more engaged, not just because like that, but also it was just the beginning of the show, so I had more energy to pay attention to the things that they were showing, but. It looked interesting. I liked how they introduced the cameo characters, and that there's going to be more obviously down the line. And you can play as those cameo characters as well, right? If they're not just limited to a separate roster.
You can't. Well, they are a separate roster. What they basically mean is they have a fighter roster and a cameo roster. But just because somebody's a fighter doesn't mean they can't also be a cameo. Okay. So you can play as Sub-Zero and have like classic Sub-Zero be your cameo in the same way that classic Sonya is. So it's one of those weird things, is like just because they're a cameo doesn't mean they're not also playable.
I see. Okay, so we're not confirmed as to some are, and some are both. Some of them were just
just because somebody's a cameo doesn't mean they're not playable. So we just have to wait for the full
interesting
list. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay then. Yeah, I mean, if it wasn't for the hyperviolence, I think I'd be more interested into it. But that's honestly not really my cup of tea, honestly, for Mortal Kombat. That's why I kind of stayed away from that series. I had a bad experience with Mortal Kombat as a kid.
Oh no.
I had like, just a slight tangent. I had cousins that visited me one time. This was when I had an N64 as my only console, and they brought over Mortal Kombat. I never saw it before, and boy, the things I saw kept me awake at night.
Which Mortal Kombat was it?
God, what was
Gold?
Was there more than one on N64?
Was it Gold or Trilogy? I think is the big one. Like, was it classic? Like, were they in their digitized sprites or were they actually 3D?
They were like 3D. They were actual models.
Wow.
Because I remember
in Mortal Kombat 4's fatalities suck.
I remember a character being thrown off and they fell down and they landed in a pit of spikes, and my poor small brain was like, I don't like this.
Oh no.
But I mean, obviously that's just like they're just silly polygons now. So I don't know.
Yeah, it's not as much. This is now we're really getting.
This is. Yeah. Oh yeah, you get to see all the juicy details when that spine gets ripped out. I'm just like, oh.
Yeah, it is a lot of ooh when you're watching that. Yeah, I can't really play that in front of Kai. Not that I would, but yeah, I don't know. I just don't. I only have so much room in me for fighters. I've already gotten Street Fighter. I'm already more interested in Tekken. I'm not denouncing Street Fighter. I mean, Mortal Kombat. It looks fun. It's just picking time at that point, you know.
Yeah, there's definitely the audience for it, and they're super excited, and I'm happy for them.
Oh,
But
they sell gangbusters.
And it's competitive right now for fighting games. Like, yeah, you got Street Fighter, Tekken, Mortal Kombat. It's a time right now, but for sure.
Yeah. So we'll see how that all comes. I'm curious what characters come in, how they've been shifted around, all that sort of stuff. I'm interested in it. I want to see the story because the story is good. I just don't know if I feel like playing it. We'll see. We also got, of course, Sonic Superstars, which just looks fun. I mean, it does look legit fun. I want to see more of it, of course, but I like that Classic Amy has made a comeback.
Classic Amy is making her renaissance right now. Like, also, like, who would have been the fourth character anyways for a classic title like this? So I hope it wasn't just because, well, I don't know what else to put in. We're gonna put Amy in, but I'm glad that she's here, and obviously she's coming to Sonic Origins DLC later this month. Really happy to see her in here. I think you can get a code right now to have her classic outfit as well, or her modern outfit for modern Amy. Yeah. So that's really cool. Just seeing this game, I know you mentioned it already. The 4-player aspect is kind of like it's new Sonic the Hedgehog now, and like I'm hoping that it's not gonna impact the game too much as a single player experience, that it's not gonna focus too much on multiplayer aspects and the other gimmicks that we're seeing introduced into it, because I still want that single player experience, classic experience. And we've seen some looks now from people's footage at the Summer Game Fest as well.
Yeah.
Apparently the Chaos Emeralds will give you an ability at this point.
That's cool.
That's what it looked like, at least from that animated intro that we saw, which also looks fantastic.
Yeah.
The animated Sonic intros always make me happy.
Yeah. It's I'm always down for those. I love seeing those, and I think I could see this, especially I don't know if they've said what the difference is between the $60 version and the $70 version, but I can imagine more characters being in here. You could get your obvious Mighty and Ray, but we have already seen Fang the Sniper, so he might be playable in the future. Which
I love that they just snuck in Fang for this one. That's so cool.
I don't know if they've ever had Fang be playable before in a 2D game. I don't think so.
I don't think there was. Like Fang's always been like just the villain on the side, or a character you could play as in Sonic the Fighters, that one game.
Yeah. According to Caitlin, Fang is confirmed a villain, but I mean, that doesn't mean he can't be unlockable. That whole asset is there. It could happen. I think a lot of people would be really happy if like Classic Shadow was in it. I think that would, even if it's not in the main game, having that as DLC, people would buy the hell out of that. Just have Classic Shadow.
Oh yeah, you add Shadow to any Sonic game, fans will get super excited. There's definitely room for that, of course. I want to see exactly how far they go with this and what happens. If there's a story, what content's in there. If it's like continuing off of Mania, for example, like they've done it before, where they continue off of other games. Or I mean, continuing off of Origins, because there was like an ending sequence that kind of felt like it was leading to something else with the four characters.
Oh, really? I did not know that. I've still not played Origins.
You can kind of glean that from the end, I think, but it's not super like obvious. But it feels like it now, considering you playing as all four in this game. So yeah, I'm excited for this. I'm happy to see a 2D Sonic from Sega. It's not Mania 2, but they sure seem like they're wanting to make a Mania 2, because I think T-Lopes is also on board for this as well. Not confirmed.
I don't know if I don't think that's been confirmed at all.
Not confirmed. I think I just heard Ash talking about it, and he might have heard about that as well. But if he is, I don't know.
Yeah, I've heard nothing out of that, so I'm
okay.
Yeah,
I'm just okay.
But I've also not been on Twitter much today, so I don't know what's actually going around. I only found a little bit of okay, so T might have T something, could be anything. I'm not gonna put too much behind it. Be awesome though. Arzest is working on it though. Helping out, which is, your Yoshi's New Island, your Balan Wonderworld. Now that does mean that Naoto Oshima is working on it, and apparently the people who played it, the physics and compared, the physics are pretty close to the original 2D game.
I saw that comparison of Sonic going down a hill and over a loop, and it's like almost 1-to-1 from Mania to Superstars. So hopefully, at the very least, it's gonna feel like Mania. It's weird because when I see a 3D model Sonic running through there, I just can't stop thinking of Sonic 4. My mind just kind of
this looks better than Sonic 4.
yeah. I think it's just the model and the art style that makes me it's tricking my brain into thinking that Sonic's gonna be moving like molasses. But looking at the comparisons makes me feel better that the physics are gonna be more towards the actual like Genesis Mega Master System Mania style. So I'm hopeful for that. I'm staying optimistic for this game for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. Before we move on to some of these others, let's get a few more super chats in here. Especially because it kind of ties in here, because we got Jacob Tucker with a $5 super chat saying, thoughts on the likelihood of Mighty, Ray, Bean, and Bark showing up in Sonic Superstars. I think it could happen. I mean, if Fang's showing up, I think they could definitely pull from those older aspects. I will say I don't know if Bean or Bark will show up. That feels a little bit more into the back catalog that Mania went into. Mighty and Ray, maybe.
It was really cool to see like Fang, Bean, and Bark in that one boss battle.
Yeah.
And the Mirage Saloon in Mania, which was super cool to see. If anything, they'll make a cameo appearance maybe, similar to that. Maybe it'll be in a stage somewhere, but I think it's going to be Fang right now. And Mighty and Ray, I mean, they're making their resurgence as well with Mania. They've got their popular fans as well. So hopefully.
I would love to see Chaotix in their classic forms return, because we have not had that.
I would love to see Espio, Vector, Charmy. They could do their own campaign, just the three of them, 3-player campaign. That'd be fun.
add in Mighty. There you go.
Yeah, they'll have all 4 of them. That's what you can do.
Yeah, I like it. I'm down for it. Or I guess you could just use Knuckles, but either way, but still. No, I feel like if this does well, I could see Sega being like, here's another character. That's especially with it being 3D. I feel like that's a little easier than with adding a 2D character. But it is called
Superstars, so you never know.
That is true. Disney Duncan with another $2. Thank you so much, saying happy early Father's Day, Derrick. When is Father's Day? I don't even know when that is, honestly.
I don't even know.
I keep so little track of that. I thank you.
One of these Sundays.
Yeah, some Sunday, but I appreciate it nonetheless. Master of Hamsters with $5 saying, I've spent thank you, by the way. I've spent the past few days playing Insomniac Spider-Man and Miles Morales for the first time, just finished them both and ready for 2. I've not played Miles Morales myself yet. That's going to definitely want to play that before the new game comes out. I'm excited. I really enjoyed the original Spider-Man.
Yeah, same here. I got Miles Morales for the PS5, which came with the original Spider-Man remastered. I 100%ed that game, and I still need to play Miles Morales because I'm super excited for it. It's Spider-Man season, everybody. I gotta watch the Spider-Verse movie.
I know. I was hoping to see that tonight, but I don't think that's gonna happen. I'll be honest, but we'll see. Hick Eats Games, thank you so much for the $5 as well, saying enjoy the duo stream. Hope I didn't sound the mood too bad yesterday by posting that leak trailer. I don't think so, because we're going to be talking about it soon.
Oh, I think, yeah.
And honestly, to be honest, we got an extra video out of it and it's doing well.
Yeah, I mean, everyone was going to see that eventually. It was fine. Yeah. I just didn't realize it was happening when it was happening.
Yeah.
But we'll
Daniel and I were sort of caught off guard. And we'll get into that as we go along here. And one more before we get back to some more of these Summer Game Fest games. Mr. Dwayne191 with $4.99 super chat. Thank you so much, saying finally able to watch the stream live. Work has been ruining my free time, but now that after some time off, I have some free time to play Street Fighter 6. Awesome, enjoy it.
Very nice. Yeah, have a good time with that. Absolutely.
Cool. All right. We also I don't think we have to stick on this too much, but that Lies of P demo came out. Did we get a chance to play it? I didn't. Did you get a chance to play it?
I did not.
Yeah.
I did not play that demo.
Has anybody here played the demo? I'm curious because
Kind of in the back of my mind right now with everything else happening at the moment.
Yeah. As Don Alphaline points out, another thing I kind of missed from the news, because just so much has been happening, Shredder's Revenge getting DLC. Usagi Yojimbo, which Steve and I talked about a while ago, along with other new content and modes. I'm excited for that. That's cool.
Y'all called it way back then. I still remember.
Hopefully it's part of it. Comes to Game Pass as well, because that's how I played it, and I've not bought it or anything else. So
yeah, I'm excited.
Yeah.
Shredder's Revenge is such a good game, such a good multiplayer game, and such a good way to do. Well, I mean, we had some connection issues early on, but if you can get 6 people,
mostly solved.
If you can get 6 people aligned on a stable connection, it's just utter chaos, and I love it.
Mm-hmm.
But Usagi Yojimbo, I'm super excited to see that there, to see more characters being introduced.
It's a good choice.
But yeah, awesome.
Then of course we got Like a Dragon Gaiden, which I've not really played a lot of the Yakuza, well, any of the Yakuza games. I always hear they're good. It looks good, but apparently it is only going to be digital. It's digital only.
Oh, really? Huh.
So,
yeah, I wanted to get into this series. I have Like a Dragon installed on my PS5 right now. That's a game I want to get into at some point. But there's like so many titles. It's kind of intimidating, and it feels like just more and more keep coming out. I'm just like,
I feel
wait,
like
please.
we're up to like 9 games, because we got 0, 1 through 6. Well, 7, which is Like a Dragon. So that's already 8 games, plus the Ishin that just came out, and now this.
Yeah.
That's 10.
How do they do this so fast? Like, you guys gotta calm down. I need to catch up on the series first.
Right?
But it looks good though. I like what we saw.
Yeah, absolutely. Of course, we got Alan Wake 2, which, we weren't too impressed by the demo, but I think it's still going to be a good game.
Mm-hmm.
The demo was just too slight.
Yeah, we didn't really get too much of a strong impression from that one, unfortunately. But I know they'll be doing pretty well once that game comes out, like the original.
It's one of those things, even if it has a rough demo, it's like, the whole concept is going to be good as well.
Mm-hmm.
But of course, we got the big one from Summer Game Fest, that Final Fantasy VII Rebirth trailer.
Oh my goodness!
I've watched that so many times.
There were like talks and leaks and discussion, or people were already saying that was going to be here at the Summer Game Fest, and yeah, it was. They closed out the show. Wow. What are your impressions, Derrick, on Final Fantasy VII Rebirth right now?
I am amazed to have it. Like, it does a great job of, I think, going from that claustrophobic feel, but also still open, of being in Midgar, to have it so wide open now is just super impressive. And coming up on it's Junon, right, with the cannon. It's been a while since I played 7, but yes, Junon.
I think so.
And seeing the giant cannon there in some of these locations, it's so impressive. And of course, we get those storyline teases. I'm sold. I'm sold.
Gosh, yeah, that opening shot where you like, they made a point to like, one of the first shots they show you was just the open vastness of the places to explore, and Cloud running around with Aerith and Tifa alongside him, and just the visuals of their, just seeing so much green now compared to just the industrialized everything of the first title, and just being out there, seeing how certain locations we're very familiar with, where like with Bugenhagen, you see the astral observatory kind of style. Just in the bits of story that they leave enough breadcrumbs that keep us wanting to wonder what's happening here. Like just the way it introed, why was everyone on the stretchers? Were they actually dead? Could this have been like a different timeline? Like what's going on here with all this?
It is wild, and I'm very curious. I really want to know where they're going with this, because this to me was This is the game that's going to sell whether or not the ending of the first one works.
Mm-hmm.
But
yeah, absolutely.
I think I'm feeling pretty confident after seeing that, and I don't know. I'm curious how it's all going to go.
Yeah,
and
very exciting trailer.
I like how we can actually see how combat's been expanded to with the team up attacks. That's a cool feature.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's team up attacks. Obviously, you can play as Red 13 now. Yuffie's introduced as well. She's not going to be a side optional character as the cutscenes were implying, or that she's actually a part of the main story this time, which is obviously something that they would do now because she had a whole episode reintegrate.
I like that we're clearly on the boat from Junon to Costa del Sol, which means we could possibly get Barrett and Red in their sailor suits.
Oh my gosh. I mean, people were super anticipating what we would see with Cloud's cross-dressing, and they took that to a 12 out of 10. So I think the parts that we really expect to see, I think they'll deliver with certain aspects. But yeah, that gold saucer, so many different highlights that we can expect to see, and I'm just excited. I'm so excited to see where this goes.
Are they going to keep Hojo on the beach surrounded by women? Are they daring enough to scar us by having Hojo in just a lab coat and a swim trunks surrounded by women?
He's already just skin and bones. I don't need to see this, especially with women around him.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
And of course, everybody's so curious about how Vincent, Sid, and Kate Sith all look, and whether they're going to go with Kate Sith or Ketchi.
Yeah, I'm always confused how to pronounce their name. We saw them for just a moment.
We saw the cat part, but not the Moogle part.
Yeah, we saw that part in 7, so they'll definitely be playing their role here. But how much of Vincent and Sid will we see? I hope they're a sizable amount in the story, that they're not going to be like a side character like how Red 13 was at the end.
Yeah, I feel like Vincent is definitely going to get a boost in story. And connections and all that, just because of the Turk connection and his past and all that.
He's way too popular for them to be just sidelining him, for sure.
He got his own game. Not a great game, but he got his own game.
Oh, man. Yeah. And then I'm just curious what's going to happen with the story that they hint at the end of that trailer with Tifa and Sephiroth. I'm just like, Sephiroth, what do you mean? What do these words mean?
Yeah. Although, I just had a thought. Be kind of funny. I know it would probably upset some people, but it'd make me laugh, and I'd kind of be down for it. If they got Takahata 101 to voice Vincent and do his Alucard voice from Hellsing.
Oh my god! Can you imagine?
I would kind of dig it, honestly. I kind of love it, but I don't think they're gonna bring Steve Bloom back. I think they're gonna definitely have a new person voicing him.
Maybe. Yeah, pretty much everyone in this cast has been the cast has been recast as different characters to be voiced.
And they all work.
So, yeah, they all work very well. I'm very pleased with how this cast has been performing for these characters. And yeah, just super excited to see more where it goes. I'm glad I was able to react to that, because last year we had a whole Square Enix presentation. I fell asleep. I didn't wake up till midway through, and I was like, no, they're talking about Ever Crisis and Final Fantasy VII and all this cool stuff. But yeah, I'm really excited to see where this goes.
Absolutely. Well, before we get to our final bit of news, we got some more super chats to go through. Where did I leave off here? Here we go. With BlazeStar25 with $5. Thank you so much. Saying, with Persona 3 being my favorite game, you'd think I'd be over the moon for Reload. And while I'm excited, not seeing signs of the answer or FemC worries me. We'll get into that, of course. But I'm not ready to be bemoan things yet. I'll say that.
We have thoughts.
Yes.
That's for sure.
Blaker36 with $9.99 super chat. Thank you so much. Saying, please everyone, I beg of you, play Chibi Robo Park Patrol. I know it is a Walmart exclusive here in the States, but that game is pretty good. I've not even played the original Chibi Robo. Be nice if we got a remake, but that would not, or a re-release, but I don't think that's going to happen.
Yeah. Poor Chibi Robo. I think that poor series got done dirty in multiple ways.
Yeah. Mushworks with $5 and 50 cents saying, "What do you think of Sonic's iconic character designer Naoto Oshima making his big return to his very franchise for Superstars? Thoughts?" I think it can only be good things, and he's not in prison, so he's a smart man.
Yeah, he sure is. There are some. Can you imagine? I forgot how dark that got just all of a sudden.
Yeah, no.
But yeah, absolutely. Having that kind of it's kind of nostalgic in a way. The way that you see their art style and how it works with Superstars. I'm excited to see this sort of thing take off and where Superstars goes. I hope it's not the beginning of the Sonic cycle again. You never know.
I mean, Frontiers mostly did good.
Yeah,
I wouldn't say clear with flying colors, but it's potential. So
it was a good game that I enjoyed for the most part.
Yeah.
So I think Superstars will do very well in that front as well.
Mm-hmm. And then Mushi Works came back with another $2.20 saying, "First time since Sonic Adventure 1, by the way." So yeah. Sorry if I didn't put that clarification in there before.
I openly welcome it to have the return. Yeah.
Claxon with an extremely generous $50 super chat. That's amazing. Thank you so much. Saying, "My birthday's tomorrow. You're supposed to be getting the gifts. You get the gifts."
Exactly.
Not sure if you already did a shout out or if you're even doing them since Ash isn't here, but fun fact, today, including leap days, I'm exactly half my dad's age in days. Tomorrow I'm 27 tomorrow I'm 27 and on the 12th, my dad is 54. Well, that's pretty cool. Wow, yeah, I'm sorry for the lack of shout outs. I saw someone here, but I wasn't sure if Ash had updated them, and I don't know where he got them from. So we'll make up for those next time.
Definitely.
But happy birthday nonetheless. Absolutely happy birthday.
Absolutely.
Disney Duncan back once more with $5 saying, "Apparently it's been reported that Illumination and Universal are close to a deal in making a Zelda movie." I've heard that. We'll see how it goes.
Oh man, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson playing a Goron. I'm ready for it.
That just makes too much sense. Rhymer Horse with $2 donation. Thank you so much, saying, "No, plant-based diet is great for the environment." I don't know where that comes from, but okay.
Oh gosh, I forgot what we were talking about when this one came in.
Trying to remember as well, but I mean, I like to eat my veggies, so I appreciate
Eat your vegetables, everybody.
Yes. Disney Duncan back yet again with a $2 super chat saying, "Why isn't Venom in the thumbnail?" Because even though we got to see Spider-Man at the Game Awards, there really wasn't much to talk about other than we got a release date, which cool. Not much to say there, and we got stuff before that we kind of figured for Venom, which is no Eddie Brock.
Why wouldn't we have Tails? It's Tails.
Yeah, it's Tails. You gotta have Tails. Alan Wilkinson with a £2 super chat. Thank you so much, saying, "Samurai Pizza Cats as Shredder's Revenge enemies, please." Why enemies? Make them playable. That's what I want. That'd be amazing. Just out of nowhere have a Samurai Pizza Cats beat him up.
They can make it happen.
And then finally, for now, Claxon back once again with a $10 super chat saying, "Kate Sith will hand over a business card that says Kate Sith. Cloud will say you're Kate Sith, and it'll be a running joke whenever Kate Sith corrects people by saying it's pronounced Cat She." Maybe.
I would love it if they did an in-game just joke. That it's just a running joke. Like, how do you pronounce this cat's name? I don't know.
Why are you called that?
But he knows.
All right. Well, that's all of our super chats for now. Thank you all so much for that generosity. But we have one bit of news to talk about here, and that is our leaks of Persona 3 Reload and Persona 5 Tactica. And we reacted to it where we were kind of caught off guard. It feels weird because it feels like such an understated reaction from us. But I think we're both excited. It's just like all of a sudden there it is.
Yeah, I felt bad because I don't think I gave the proper reaction I should have, seeing it where it was, because we had just come off of seeing the Devolver Digital Direct with Volvi, and that was a ride in its own. But yeah, we were told that it was uploaded to Instagram on accident. I'm sure the individuals involved are on fire right now for whoever allowed that to happen before, because clearly the logo at the beginning shows that it's supposed to be at the Xbox showcase originally planned for. And nope, we got 2 games leaked a few days ahead of time. So kind of pulls the rug under you, honestly. But I've watched it over and over at this point. I'm excited. I'm very excited.
That transition into a menu, just
oh my god,
so good.
Like, so I know there are some people that are like, oh, they're copying a bit too much from Persona 5 now, but I think it's doing a good job in keeping its own identity to its own thing, because Persona 5's transition to menu, it's just, you know, slap the screen. It's very chaotic. It's very unstructured in an intentional way because of the Phantom Thieves. This one, it's very elegant for Persona 3. It flows right in, and I think it also goes into like the battle UI as well, because in the original UI for Persona 3, at least for Persona 3 Portable as well, it's like a rotating like revolver, like for the bullets of a gun, which makes sense because of the evokers. But it kind of is a little bit clumsy because you have to keep on pressing the button to get to the option you want, and there's even an option to invert it in case you're confused as to which direction it goes. But now it's just they're all assigned to a button. There's just 4. And it's just easy to press the button on below. It's like there's like rush and all those other things that are also assigned to different buttons. So I'm a graphic designer, so I'm gonna go on a tangent about this. I'm sorry. It's more elegantly done, and it's cleaner, it's smoother, it looks nicer. I think it still is in line with the clean aesthetic for the game, and it looks good. Like the characters' art is redone. They look nice in HD.
Look really good.
The models are redone as well. They look beautiful.
Curious what they'll be doing with the cast, because we did not get any voice acting there, and there's an issue.
There's some multiple problematic voice actors in that cast that we don't know what they're gonna do with that, and we didn't see it today either. But yeah, we got to hear a nice new song. Lotus Juice still pumping it out like it's the mid 2000s, 2000s. I love how the piano notes you hear in that song are from Tartarus's theme. Those 3 piano notes.
I wonder, are they going to keep Tartarus the same?
Yes. You saw in the trailer Tizia floor 124
boy,
on one shot on there, and it's just like, we're still doing this, aren't we? So
that's definitely going to be something that's going to throw off people who go like, I've heard such good things about that. I mean, people probably know by now because of the re-release of Portable. But yeah, people are definitely nervous because there's no sign of the answer stuff, and there's no sign of the fem main character. And I'm gonna wait and see.
It's too early, because the main point of this trailer was to show that this is being done. We're making this. Don't worry, Persona 3 is being remade. We didn't even see Mitsuru or Hakihiko. That doesn't mean they're not going to be in the game. Like, I think they just wanted to get the idea out. Also, it's a bit visually confusing because Persona 5 main color is main color is red. Persona 4 main color is like a yellow. But Persona 3 it's blue, but with Kotone it's also pink. And I think having those 2 colors in the same trailer was going to throw people off. So I think I'm hoping here, I'm grasping that it's going to show later that they're going to show her as well. And that'll be more of a pink focused color direction for that. And I can see the answer being like the downloadable content, because that's its own episode. That's the right kind of size for a downloadable campaign. And it's also literally the epilogue after the events of Persona 3.
Right.
So,
and it's... let's hope they tone down on the grinding. Oh
yeah, I'm expecting that there'll actually be a difficulty options. There were no difficulty options in the original, so it needs to be more accessible.
You know what? If they do include the answer, let's make it more like Persona 5. Have it a bit more structure and just get more plot rather than that. Have, instead of a randomized thing, let's use this as an excuse to have structure.
Yeah, it was very gameplay focused for the answer, to the point where we both agree. Just look up the cutscenes.
Just look up the
It's
cutscenes.
too much to deal with for a 20-hour plus campaign unless you hate yourself. But yeah, Persona 3 Reload. I'm excited. I'm waiting to see what else they announce because it's just the bare minimum right now. We didn't even see like any animated cutscenes. It was just all model
Yeah, it was all in game
and work.
So
But yeah, Yukari actually has accuracy. She was actually hitting enemies in this one. That's something to be excited about too.
yeah, that's nice. And of course we got Tactica, another Persona 5 spinoff. And honestly, I like the visual style. I'm excited for this one. I think it looks pretty neat. I'm down.
Oh, just inject my Fire Emblem with my Persona, please, and thank you.
And it's
Just-
definitely more Fire Emblem than Devil Survivor, because Devil Survivor is all about each character having a team.
Yeah. It was hard for me to kind of figure out how this game's gonna work in structure wise because there was a lot of cutscenes shown, a lot of characters were shown. The models are wacky. They're like kind of elongated. They're not Q2 or Q Persona Q models. They're more like Mega Man or like I don't know, stocking and pantyhose or
Yeah, I guess,
like that style
I guess
too.
that's a good way to put it. Yeah. Yeah, not chibi-fied, but definitely cartoonified in a way. And you know
It's
what?
interesting.
I don't mind that art style. I think it works pretty well. It's attractive visually, and I think it works because you're not going to be with the characters at all times. You're going to be from above, so you need something to, really see them. So yeah, I'm down. I'm down.
For sure. Yeah, there's not much indication of what the story. I couldn't really guess what the story is about at this point. It's,
Yeah, who knows if it takes place in between or if it's a Persona 5 3. Who knows?
because we saw the base core crew of Persona 5, the base game. There's no like Akechi or Kasumi. Or who knows?
It
what's
would be
gonna
kind of
here.
cool if they put Kasumi in this one, but
I hope so. Woefully neglected from Persona 5 Strikers
Yeah.
due to how they wanted to tell the story with that one. But yeah, it's just Phantom Thieves are back doing more things, and we'll see what that entails as time goes on. But I'm glad that we actually were confirmed that the English voice cast is back for this crew because I love that
Yeah.
cast as well.
it's a shame they couldn't get them they didn't bother with Q2.
Yeah, that would have been so cool.
Because I
but
forgot that
that's also-
Q1 had the dub. I did not realize that.
Yeah, that's unfortunate, but at the very least we have that representation for, or well, I guess we don't know yet. We're gonna
Yeah.
see more. I want to see who else is in this game as well because there's a lot of new characters. And this after we got the Phantom X or no whatever the mobile games.
Oh
gonna
yeah,
be
the
for
mobile
Persona
games
5.
just out of nowhere. You know what?
Yeah,
I'm okay with somebody getting an offshoot, mobile tie-in while we get a tactics game. I'm okay with this.
Yeah. I'm seeing a chat from both mouths. Same goes for Zenkichi. Poor Zenkichi. He was in Persona 5 Strikers as well. Then never spoken of again. So maybe we'll see him in one of these titles. There's a lot to milk with Persona 5. If you don't think that they can milk a game, you wait.
And I've not heard this, but Vedron says apparently there's a rumored Persona 1 and 2 characters for it.
Oh really? I haven't heard anything about that.
I've not heard anything about that, so
I'm already skeptical because you said Persona 1 and 2 and Atlus is just
That's not a thing.
Refuses to acknowledge them. I want them to. Trust me, I want them to, but
Valve can't count to 3, and Atlus can't. It has to start counting at 3.
You mentioned something interesting about the titles. Persona Q, Persona 5 Royal, Persona 5 Strikers, Persona 5
I didn't
Tactica.
even think about the Q. Oh my god! I only just heard the RST.
RST. And obviously, the next one is Ultimax. That's the fighting game. The fighting game is next, everyone. You heard it here first.
Oh man,
that's the next one for you.
I believe it. Even if it's like Persona 6 Ultimax, it would still work because they bring in the Persona 5 cast.
Oh my gosh, they're doing the thing that Final Fantasy VII is doing with the letters. Oh gosh, man. This is too good.
And then V would be VR. Persona 5. Replay
V.
Persona 5 again, just in VR.
In VR. Persona 5 visual.
There you go. All right. Well, that's all the news for this week. We got a few more super chats, so let's cover those before we get into our patron topics. First up is Laxnor with $4.99. Thank you so much, saying, "Hey GVG, for the new Mortal Kombat, what character do you hope doesn't get stuck as only a cameo? Also, do you think we'll get exclusive guest cameo fighters?" I don't know. I think if they're gonna have a guest, they're gonna make them playable.
Yeah, I think we'll have guest characters. I don't have enough knowledge of Mortal Kombat to know who would be unfortunately stuck as a cameo if they made it in as well. But I hope there's more of both than just characters stuck only as cameos. It makes more sense that way.
You know what? I think I don't know about. I don't have enough knowledge to say who I don't want to get stuck as a cameo because I just don't have like a main for that sort of thing. But it definitely seems like cameos are just completely non sequiturs. Like they don't tie in. They like you can call them in, but obviously they're like nobody's actually seeing them. You're not actually hanging out with those versions of Sonya and whatnot during the story mode. So they're just sort of extras. In that case, I would not mind if Cassie Cage, because that was my main back when I played Mortal Kombat 10. I'd love Cassie Cage to be a cameo. I doubt she's going to be a main character, but hey,
yeah,
that'd be a cool cameo. I'd be happy.
Yeah, very nice. Yeah.
So, next up is Darkbeat Andy with $5 as well. Thank you so much. Saying, question: is it worth playing Persona 3 Portable after the Reload announcement? Still haven't played it yet, and no refund on eShop after buying the $40 bundle. It's hard to say.
It's early to say because with this trailer, we only know that it's being remade. We don't know if it's just the base game. We don't know if it's anything added with Persona 3 Portable, Persona 3 Fest. The answer. At the very least, I think it's worth to play. If you have it, give it a shot because there is unfortunately some pacing issues with that game compared to 4 and 5 that has not aged very well. But the story is still very good. Once you reach like more or less the halfway point, it gets you very invested. And at the very least, you can play the game with the female protagonist. Kotone is probably my favorite protagonist in a Persona game.
That might be the way to do it, is just play as the female protagonist, unless you want to wait a bit and see if the female protagonist gets picked, and then you can just play it through with the male protagonist and just change it up that way.
Yeah, that's a way to do it. It's just at the very least you can play you play Reload as the male protagonist, and you could try it as a female protagonist on Persona 3 Portable. There's definitely uniqueness. There's unique story beats to each one. They're mostly the same story. I don't see why they wouldn't add her to Reload. There's not much more they'd have to do if they're already going this far. But remains to be seen.
Yeah. Disney Duncan with $5 as well. Thank you so much. Saying, heading out to get pizza. P.S. You can make it in Tears of the Kingdom. Oh, that's cool.
I know you can make cheesecake.
I've not made that. I've not done a ton of cooking, to be honest. Born 96 with £4.99. Thank you so much. I can see Sega adding to Sonic Superstars any crossovers like II or Amigo, like Banana Mania. Nothing to do with story, but there for additions. That'd be interesting to have like sort of like with II instead of just replace Sonic Sprite with, well, II or whatnot.
It's like II who's running, and then when he gets high speed or he rolls down a hill, he just enters the ball, or he jumps, he enters the ball.
Yeah,
that kind of makes sense for a monkey ball representative.
Yeah, that'd be cool. And you just have little Kiryu there again, just running through, doing his jump. Why not?
Oh my goodness.
And then finally, Tinker with $2 saying, since Persona 3 Reload is real, when will we see that Jet Set Radio game? Maybe at Xbox.
That's true.
Jet Set Radio Future was on the original. Maybe it'll be there at the Xbox show as well.
Yeah, I'm excited to see that because now we're waiting. That it's all but confirmed at this point.
Yeah. All right. Let's go ahead and get to our patron topics. And as always, this comes straight from our patrons over at GV Gaming. I think it is on Patreon. Patreon.com/GVGaming. If you'd like to have questions like these answered by ourselves. And Daniel, would you like to start or should I?
I can start us off. Let's see. Mine comes from Disney Duncan, who's asking, what are your most anticipated game after Tears of the Kingdom? It doesn't have to be this year or have a solid release date or year. I have two, Knights of the Republic Remake and Kingdom Hearts 4. One of those I definitely am excited for, Kingdom Hearts 4. We kind of already went over this, but I think after seeing some of the trailers this week, definitely Final Fantasy VII Rebirth is way up there for
Oh
me.
yeah.
I mean, I've been following Final Fantasy VII since I had my friend lend me their original PS1 copy that I played on my PS2. And then just getting into this series more and more over the years. I never played Crisis Core until the remake
Oh
came out
wow.
last year. That was my first time playing. I've tried. I don't have a PSP. I tried to get into it, but I wasn't able to. And yeah, I'm just invested in this world so much. And to see where it's going with remake, and then with Rebirth has me really excited. That's as far as games that we're like excited for right now. It probably would be Persona if I knew more about it. Honestly, we shouldn't even know about it right now into the capacity that we do. But that and for something that we don't know anything about, Metroid Prime 4, please.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
I want to know
I'm,
something about that soon because I'm dying to know.
yeah, I mean, kind of the same as Daniel's. I'm definitely excited for Spider-Man 2, Persona 4
Hmm.
Royal, or Persona 4. Yeah. Final Fantasy 7 Rebirth, Persona 3 Reload. Of course, Sonic. I mean, just the usual ones. I don't put Kingdom Hearts on that list because it's so far out. I don't get myself hyped. Same with Metroid. It's like when I get it from details,
Yeah,
then I'll get excited. But until that point, no.
I'm a fool. I'm just thinking ahead.
Yeah, I got too much current stuff to play. Did you not hear me at the beginning of the show? It's ridiculous.
We need more delays, actually, so we can
Yeah,
get through this stuff.
stop putting out games. I'm still playing through Final Fantasy 14 slowly.
Oh
So
man.
yeah, but yeah, there's a lot of good stuff coming. Obviously, I mean, I guess you could toss Tekken 8 in there as well. So
Yeah, that's true.
yep. All right. Well, my question comes from Brandon Digwood saying, you guys have probably answered this question before, but what's a game you want to have added to the Switch lineup after Pikmin 4? Something new or something old? And that's a good question because we have to assume that the Switch follow-up is coming at some point. So does Nintendo keep putting out new games or do we get remasters or re-releases? Because it still feels very odd to me that we don't have Wind Waker and Twilight Princess on the Switch.
Yeah, yeah. Those seem like a shoe-in. Like there were years where there were no. Like, last year didn't have a Zelda release. I don't think,
I don't think no.
and that could have slotted in easily for like even a dual release or just one of them. Who knows? I feel like they've been sitting on this for a while now, and it might come out next year. Whether it's on the Switch, whether it's on a new console, if it's like announced and then releases that November, for example. Because I think they've confirmed there's no new console for this fiscal year. So that kind of ties up anything up until like April, March, that around that area. Because yeah, where in the world are these Zelda titles? They should have happened a while ago.
Yeah.
But
That's one. And you know what? For a new one, I'm gonna toss out a crazy prediction. I doubt
do
it.
it.
I doubt it's gonna happen. But Grezzo often works on Zelda titles, and of course they have that new Apple Arcade game they just announced.
Hmm.
But I wouldn't mind seeing them taking and adapting the Link's Awakening art style they have. And rather than the Oracle games, which would still be lovely, I'd love to see the Oracle games get that sort of thing. But why don't we apply that to Earthbound and have
Oh,
that for a fall release or something like that? Just have a smaller game and see that game remade in that style where it's like Link's Awakening, where it's definitely an upgrade, but you don't have to get into it and have to like see it from the kids' perspectives and all that. I think that would be rather interesting and maybe test the waters of doing a remake of Mother 3 in the same vein.
that art style is so suited for the proportions of the Mother series in general for all the characters. Like if you kind of condense it a bit, you kind of change the perspective a little bit. That's just Earthbound. You kind of change the art style a little bit. So change the art style just a bit so that it looks like hints of claymation. It doesn't have to be full on claymation because they're kind of like shiny toys
Yeah.
in Link's Awakening, but you can make that work so well with that art style. And I mean, you're speaking the words of everyone wants to see Earthbound remade. Everyone wants to see Mother 3 at least get any attention at all out here.
Yeah.
I would love that so much. A great way to reintroduce that to audiences that may not have played it yet either. It's a timeless title. I would love to see that happen.
Yeah. What about you? Old games or new games?
Oh my gosh. If we're like remaking games, like I mean it's been a little bit since Origami King, Paper Mario. I know the original title has a lot of like the original title brought a lot to the Mario RPG series, other than like actual Super Mario RPG. But I would love to see Thousand Year Door remade as well, and be on that on the Switch console or whatever comes next. I would love to see kind of like the art style that they use with Origami King. I don't know if I want like that heavy white outline. I'm still always like on and off about whether I like that or not. How it makes all the characters stand out, but it's like I love that title so much. It's one of my favorite games like ever. It's so charming and funny and witty, and it holds up today. It's a title that people are emulating on indie titles you see today, that they really want to see that kind of art style come back again, and that those kind of fleshed out worlds. But we don't have Alpha Dream making the Mario RPG series anymore, so it's like where's the Mario RPG series going to come from at this point?
Yeah, it's definitely up in the air, and I feel like Nintendo, like, stuff still sells very well on the Switch. Use that to try to promote some of your smaller games, because we've had so many examples of these games being the best selling in their series. Even if it's not like super amazing, they still get a bunch of sales. So you have that. Do that. Take advantage of that to put out some decent efforts on smaller games and see how well they do. And hey, maybe there's a audience for that. I don't know.
Yeah, this is the perfect time to do it. You have that giant install base for Switch users, and any game that you put out there and you promote it well enough, they'll get a lot of attention, and we'll see like what sticks. And they just need to take more chances like that, instead of I say that as I say, oh, bring back Paper Mario, but make a new Mario and Luigi, something that's not even Mario and Luigi anymore. Make something entirely different that's still an RPG series, but with more of the Mushroom Kingdom characters that you could play as Peach and Bowser, and bring back essences of Super Mario RPG back. Make it more like that game. Make it weird. I want to see it.
Well, if you want to go weird, go nuts. Make it Wario and Waluigi. Why not? Give them an excuse to just do whatever the heck they want, because nobody cares.
Partners in crime. When is that happening?
Exactly.
Where's that title?
And Bolt Mouse X, if Nintendo properly advertised Famicom Detective Club, it might have done well. Maybe it's still sold all right. I have no idea.
I don't know. That came out, I played it, and I never heard of it ever again.
Yeah.
I want them to do more of their older games brought back like this. That's such a cool way to preserve those titles, is just to remake them entirely. But yeah, there's so much we can have on there.
We'll see if Nintendo announces anything. I'm not gonna get direct hyped yet. We'll see how it all goes.
I'm laying low with the hype right now until we get an official announcement.
Oh wow! Apparently, Famicom Detective Club was actually one of the developers' most successful titles. So,
wow,
there you go.
Well, right on then.
Cool. I'll take that. But yeah, we'll see what we'll see what comes of it. But I always try to keep my expectations low, so I don't get too hyped and be disappointed. It's like, oh, this thing didn't happen.
Yeah.
So, but I think that about does it for this episode of the GVG Cast. Of course, we will be back tomorrow for the Wholesome Games Direct, featuring Daniel and my partner Amy, as she is all about the wholesome games. So definitely check those out. I believe you two will be joined by Brandon as well, and potentially Ash, voice of godding it.
It's gonna be a cozy time. That is, I think, 9 a.m. Pacific time.
Yes, 9 a.m. Pacific, noon Eastern. We'll likely do our thing like we usually do, where we try to get it to go live about 15 minutes before, so we can get all prepped and whatnot. So definitely look forward to that. And of course, we have to give a mighty, mighty big thank you to our wonderful patrons and supporters there, including our producers. Got them all lining up here, so definitely check them out. Thank you all so much for that incredible support. It really is appreciated. But of course, we also have to give an extra special thank you to all of our executive producers, and they include Brandon Bovia, Cutie Caitlin, Fangs, Z Patty, Just Brian, Sky Blue Flames, Eastman23, Adam O'Sullivan, Richard Herrera, Logan Daniel, The D-Pad, Vesmio, Blake, Critter XD, Joy Content, Angel Martinez, Vedron, Joshua Hunter, Benny Yao, Blind Man, Azran127, Black King, Pagrama, Joseph Bretkin, Titus Malvolio, Geeky Griffin, Lucky Wonderfish, Kyle, Wataniac, Top Dog 23100, Young Ben Kenobi, Doug Shomix, Andrew Medeiros, Brady Power, Darchi, Becca, Rockstacat, Killamox, Sean Davis, Michael McCall, Matthew Wong, Goron Amber CPHT, Too Much Spaghetti, Bane 400, Ascaron 809, Rioner, Nathan Steele, Puppy Wuppy, Rain and Clouds, The Game Orb, Super Gamer Dude 101, Grantles, Ravelox, Rosa Pardo Bowling, hi Steve's mom, Vega Amster, Skull Kid Tiger, Darksteel 01, Jason Uloa, Jaden Buck, Cystic Warrior 29, DJ Jurassic, Super Dank Awesome Unicorn Guy, Derrick, Colin, Mumbling Yeti, Cameron Sharp, Keel, Moon Knight, Brendan Hesse, Hustlebun, Noah Fitterer, Calvin Atkinson, Brainchild, the entire state of Wisconsin, Jim Wakeland, Longboy Shiggy, Aramis Baramis, Down Alpha Lion, Lord Metarex, Kyle Gamer and Barry Rookie, Blaze Collard, Eric, Cat Evie Person 5, Lady Maxillary, Peyton Thiel, Mega B and True Blue Reviews, Young Ant, Ryan Hanley, The Game Jamie, and Danny Walsh. Thank you all so much for that support. Really is appreciated. And yeah, we have even more reactions, even beyond the ones we have tomorrow. We have the Xbox on Sunday. We have Capcom and Ubisoft on Monday. It's kind of E3 season, kind of.
More
Close
or less,
enough.
yeah.
Close enough.
What do we call it now? Like it's not really. If it's not even E3 anymore, what do we call it?
That's a good question. Sorry for the accidental intro there. I forgot to turn it off, but yeah.
Welcome everybody to.
You know how it goes. Either way, that is it for us. Thank you so much, and we will see you very soon for even more from GVG, from all of us at GVG. Till then, everyone. Bye.
Right on. Till we meet again.